Greetings. I thought I'd make a video, talk about death, and I'd like to introduce you to my family, but I can't bring them into this physical reality to actually show you because they're all contained within one. So what I'm just showing you here is just a nice picture of flowers because it conforms to the Fibonacci, the flower of life, all the patterns and things, so it's just a pretty picture. But I was talking to one greater than I earlier, and it was quite funny. Oh, I'm going to have to swear. He basically said, "You talk like a cunt." I'll explain that. It's not the derogatory way that people have taken that to be, because if you actually look at the vocal thing, Paul, Black Sheep researcher, who is basically I in another form, really, saying the same thing. Because remember, if somebody is saying to you, "I can see something," and the other person is saying, "There's nothing there," it's always a thing, whether it be something or no thing. It is always thing in this reality. It's why you have everything is whole, everything is all. But in this solid reality where we are set into stone, or it's set in stone, you don't get to see the whole picture. And just like the glyph that you know as the letter G in its upper or lower case, it has a tail, it has a hook, because it is tied to this reality which is subject of time. So death, let's talk about death. What is death? There are two deaths. There is the physical death of the body. That is just a doorway, that is a gateway that takes you on to so much more. I mean, the T and the H, it's a deity, TH, it's just a doorway. It's why you have the word mandatori, mandator, why? Because you're asking why, you want to know why. But you've all experienced death. Your physical avatar, as soon as that umbilical cord was clamped, your intake of everything you ever needed is now suddenly cut off. They've cut the supply, and you actually die, and you are reanimated by a docked oar in a bay. And then you start breathing oxygen because you are a generational man, and it's all an experience here. So you've already been through death. I've been through it several times since, and I can assure you it is absolute bliss. That's the thing to find. I was watching a wonderful film called Finding Joe, and I think you'll all resonate to this. To put it in the context of Adrian Elise, you are the supernova souls, and it's basically, as my friend Rocket said, the Creator will try and get your attention with feathers. If you're not watching, it will become little pebbles, and the pebbles will get bigger. They will become rocks until it drops a boulder onto you. And when you see everything that happens, you have created, because you are a co-creator. So if you're worrying about something, if you have a feeling of lack or want of something, well, that's what you will create, because the Creator and what you think and bring into being is just that. You'll create more wants. Whatever you fear, you will draw towards yourself. But it is when sometimes it takes that boulder to land on us. I know from personal experience, when I thought I was having a heart attack in my life, this life here, the life is the file, flashed before my eyes, as it were, is the saying. But anyway, let me just explain also. I think this was a conversation I had between one that is greater than I. Think of the letter I. It's a dot with a great big long line. It's another way of expressing the wave and the particle part of the atom. And this I created as well. Now, if you think, when you're looking from a higher perspective, in the physical form, you have two eyes, your sun eye and your moon eye. I'm sure a lot of you can see the yin and yang in this. But the thing is, the devil is in the detail. The more that I had this, what was white, because it's white paper, would turn black. It would invert, because this is duality. I thought, I'm not adding colour, I'm just going to keep it black and white and keep it simple as the duality. But the more I keep adding in, this will just go black. So, if you can imagine I and you and what you see, if you're looking, because remember, these letters are on paper, they're two-dimensional rights. You're writing the right. But if you're seeing it from a higher dimension, you're basically looking at it on the end. So because I is seen with two eyes, it's actually N. NCU. I mean, we're on Earth, which is a plane, so this is why you see. So the dots are actually on the ends, the open ends of the N, the C, and U. You and I have been taught, and again, it's with the eye. The dot is at the top. You're looking up. You're looking externally. The way this reality teaches you, it's looking up within, of course, because the Creator is in the pineal. The Creator exists in the pineal. That's why I can't show you my family. I can't show you the father. I can't show you the mother. I can't show you the son. I can't show you the daughter. I can't show you my brother or sister, because they're all within. So if you're looking from a higher perspective, so you can see you, because it's the two dots looking from above, and that's two-dimensional. But you're looking from above, you're looking down upon it, but not in a negative way. So that's the top of the U. That's also the bottom of the N, which would be your 2 feet, which is expressed as an L. But the whole point of this is the center point. That is you, right in the middle there. It's also your third eye. And you'll see what else comes out of this. I'm sure you can see the cross. You can see several crosses. You can see an X as well there. You can see the infinity, the 8, the double loop. You can see the yin and yang, the sun eye, the moon eye. Effectively, that does look like a sort of cartoon drawing, something like South Park, of those faces with the great big eyes. So what else? I mean, I can express this in so many ways if we do it in varying degrees. 360 degrees, 3 and 6 is 9. If I take an angle, any angel, 90, 9 and 0 is 9. 4 and 5 is 9. If I half it, 1 and 8, 180 is 9, and so on. This just keeps going on. 9 is the symbol of completion. It is all, it is everything. That's why I take a vow to L, because A is all, E is energy. It is whole, so there's the O, that leaves I and you. I am you, you are me, so we are the vow to L. So you'll also see, you'll hear expressions like the 4 corners of the earth. Well, if you see the point of everything, there's your 4 corners. They're 90-degree angles. They're the L again. Some of them are, this one is inverted, this one is the right way out, but they are right angles, they are right angles. But if I half it, like the Maltese cross, and you'll see that figure 8 in architecture and things, the pyramid is actually 8-sided, the Great Pyramid, if you look at it in the right way. They're no longer right angles or right angels, but they are angles, and they are angels. They're just not right angels. So it's all there. Everything is encoded. I didn't want to shade it in, because remember, Now, time isn't linear. When you are walking that fine line between the dark and the light, it doesn't matter which way you do it on this. I mean, you've got the N here as well. You rise, you fall, and rise again. You also have the motion of the sun between the two tropics through the sky and the moon. They all do this. It's the heart monitor as well that would go up and down. And it's on a linear time line. But when you can see both sides and you stand on the edge of that coin, you're now flowing. You're free flowing. Because that is what we're supposed to be. Free to roam and free of Rome. There's something else that, that sort of came out of this as well. See, when I am my highest self, and everything being on a lower playing, on a level playing field, as it were, this is why NASA says in the countdown T minus, because that is what it is. You've raised yourself, and you're going to be unconditional. You're not going to be biased in one particular way. So everything is on a level playing field. It becomes the T. This is why you have T and H, because H is humanity, God in a human form. So this is why the T is also a representation of the Creator. That's why it's in the middle of Satan, which is saint, which is just another label. But everything has been taken and perverted in this reality. I mean, here's another illustration of it. Now, it said the human eye, the light goes in through the pupil and it reverses everything, which forms a cross. Yeah, that's on the vertical plane, but would it not do it on the horizontal plane? Because you still have an X. So if that's the eye and I'm looking that way, the light is coming in and then it's flipping over inside. So everything is reversed, and it doesn't matter which of these 360 degrees I look at anything, that is still going to happen. I just haven't drawn all the other lines in, because obviously this would go completely back and black, and it would be covered in darkness. I know this is all over the place, but I'm trying, well, I'm just saying the same thing over and over again in every video, really. I'm just explaining it in different ways. Something else you need to look at. You see the cross in everything as well, if you look carefully. I think you know about that one. But do you see the sin in it? Do you see that to vax is to suck out? Because V, you're going down. It's taking down all. And you're being crossed. It's a sin. It's in. It's a serpent in eternity. It's the negative side that has to exist as the opposition to the good side. Now you also have another word which is prefixed. You have hibition or hibit. Now high, so it's a higher self. You're in a duality. Now, do you see it? It's not information technology. It is I am God. I am God in a human form at my highest level. So that's my hibit. Now you can have inhibition. You can have exhibition. That's energy crossed. There's also prohibition. You can prohibit. And then you also have the suffix, the I on. But there's also, if it's past tense, it's dead. So it's exhibit dead. You'll find that with so many words, because in this reality of death, how many times do you hear the expression about an organisation or something is found dead? Found dead is a found deed. Deed is dead. See, there's another explanation of death. This is the realm of death. It is finite. It is not infinite. You are infinite. It is within you. You are eternal. But you are residing in a soul carrier vessel, your avatar, your meat suit. There's also another word. I mean, you think prohibition, it's creating something. So you create, there's a cross. Now I'm tide. I'm mighty. It depends how you look at this. Everything is in proximity. It is all around you because you are the centre of your universe. Your ice wall, if you want to think of it like a flat earth, that's the limit of your imagination. But if you expand your imagination when you create, this entire circle will just get bigger. You won't just hopefully get, well, you can't. You can't just expand that way without expanding that way. So some of you are saying how you're feeling and picking up on so much. Yeah, because your magnetism, you're radiating out on a far greater radius. You radiate out a radius. So everybody in your proximity will feel it and sense it and see it. When you are operating on a higher frequency, you are tuning into more frequency. So yes, you are going to feel and pick up more. The Creator will keep throwing pebbles and stones at you and to jolt you. And if you don't listen, you'll end up as a huge great boulder. I ended up with the chest pains thinking I'm getting a heart attack, as I said earlier. So you just got to go with the flow. You've got to be wise as serpents. There are your two serpents. They're infinite. You can't have one without the other. You have to be the balance. You have to be the centre. You have to be the master. The four angels, the four angles are four aspects of you, but you have multiple aspects. You just need to see all round. Don't just see like the letter G where you're only seeing part of it. I mean, if you think of another letter like the C, there's a huge great gap in it. Within you, there is a huge great gap until you find that you are the centre of your universe. I can just keep going on and on. I'm talking about this in so many ways, but I don't want to sort of overload. But I would suggest, like with everything, whatever you listen to, if it resonates with you, listen to it 3 times so you absorb it and you take it in. If it feels right to you and it resonates with you, then absorb it. I mean, I could explain this in so many ways. I mean, I could have done it in parables. If I'd have had to hand bread and wine, I would express this as bread and wine. I could update it. I can express it as coffee and opening a tobacco tin. It would be the same message. If you look at the Wizard of Oz, if you look at Star Wars, if you look at Scripture, it's the same story. It is my story. It is your story. It is our story, but it is an allegorical story. I can share the story of this avatar. I can share with you the story of James Brockhurst. You could say that is my story while I reside in this vessel. But our story is always a mystery because my story is your story because I am you and you are me, and we are all the centre of our own universe. Now, what happens when these universes come together? When we are in our highest form, and we have found that we have found the I am within us individually, we create that flower of life pattern. The universes will overlap, just almost like it's showing with the 8, but they're now coming together. It's expressed as well in a piece of music called Death and Transfiguration. The other joke, while I think of it, while I was talking to the one greater than I, it comes back to Finding Joe. Well, I was thinking G.I. Joe. Well, G is Earth. So I'm on Earth, so I'm G.I. I'm general, I'm generational all. So they've chopped part of it out, so it becomes general. Infant, tree, man. Well, I have the tree of life. I have a tree of knowledge inside me. I'm an infant because I am a child of God. That's why they are called infantry. It's like a double-edged sword. It's as much an insult as telling you the truth when it is expressed like that. But they are soul dyers. That's why they get dog tags, because they are treated like dogs by this aspect of the Creator that is because the Creator is playing all the parts. Remember, God is also expressed as Janus, which is two-faced. Our perception in this reality of what is good and what is evil is very, very far removed from what... There is no judgment by the Creator. It is what it is when you see it, you know. They're just experiences. So all this fear porn that's going on at the moment is all, as is described, like a theatre of war.